Welcome back to the English Hub podcast. I'm David, and today we have a fascinating topic: turning failures into opportunities. Joining me, as always, is my co-host, Sophia. Hi, Sophia.
Hi, David. Hi, everyone. This is such an important topic. I think everyone has experienced failure at some point, and it can be really challenging to see it as an opportunity.
Absolutely. Let's dive right in. Before we get into the main discussion, let me share a quick personal story. When I first started my career, I experienced a significant failure that felt devastating at the time. However, it turned out to be a turning point that led me to where I am today. We'll explore more stories like this and how you can leverage your failures to create new opportunities. Segment 1: Understanding Failure. So, what exactly is failure, Sophia?
Well, failure can mean different things to different people. It could be a failed project, a missed opportunity, or even a personal setback. Essentially, it's when things don't go as planned. For some, it might be failing an exam, while for others, it might be a business venture that didn't succeed.
And how do people typically react to failure?
Common reactions include disappointment, frustration, and even shame. It's natural to feel these emotions, but it's important to recognize them and move past them. Our initial reaction to failure often determines how we will handle it in the long run.
Let's talk about some famous failures. Did you know that Thomas Edison failed thousands of times before inventing the light bulb?
Multiple publishers before Harry Potter was finally accepted. These stories remind us that failure is often a part of the journey to success. Another example is Steve Jobs, who was fired from Apple, the company he founded, before returning to lead it to unprecedented success.
These examples show that failure doesn't have to be the end of the road. It can be a stepping stone to something greater. Segment 2: The Mindset Shift. Let's talk about the mindset shift. Sophia, what is the difference between a growth mindset and a fixed mindset?
Mindset is when people believe their abilities are static and cannot change. A growth mindset, on the other hand, is the belief that abilities can be developed through dedication and hard work. This concept was introduced by Carol Dweck. People with a growth mindset see challenges as opportunities to grow rather than insurmountable obstacles.
And why is it important to have a growth mindset when dealing with failure?
Mindset. You see failure as a learning opportunity rather than a setback. It encourages resilience and perseverance, which are crucial for turning failures into successes. When you believe that you can improve, you're more likely to take risks, learn from your mistakes, and keep pushing forward.
Let's give our listeners some practical tips on shifting their mindset.
One tip is to reframe negative thoughts. Instead of thinking, "I failed," try thinking, "I learned something new." Another tip is to focus on the process rather than the outcome. Celebrate small victories and progress, even if the final result isn't what you hoped for. Additionally, surround yourself with supportive people who encourage a growth mindset.
Another important aspect is to set realistic goals. Break down big goals into smaller, manageable steps. This way, you can see your progress and adjust your approach as needed. Segment 3: turning failures into opportunities. Now let's get into the heart of our topic, turning failures into opportunities. How can we do that, Sophia?
First, it's important to analyze your failures. Understand what went wrong and why. Reflecting on failures helps you gain insights that can prevent similar mistakes in the future.
Can you give us an example of how innovation can come from failure?
Absolutely. One of my favorite examples is Post-it notes. They were invented by accident when a scientist at 3M was trying to create a super strong adhesive, but ended up with a weak, reusable one instead. This failure led to the creation of a product used worldwide.
That's a fantastic example. So, what are some actionable steps our listeners can take to turn their failures into opportunities?
Start by setting new goals based on what you've learned. Seek feedback from others to gain new perspectives. And most importantly, keep learning and adapting. Embrace the idea that failure is not the opposite of success, but a part of it. Each failure brings you one step closer to your goal if you learn from it.
Let's discuss a step-by-step guide on how to turn a specific failure into an opportunity. First, acknowledge the failure and your feelings about it. This is crucial for moving forward.
Next, analyze the failure. Ask yourself what went wrong. What could have been done differently, and what external factors were involved. This helps you understand the situation more clearly.
Then, identify the lessons learned. What skills did you gain? What knowledge did you acquire? How can this experience make you better prepared for the future?
Finally, set new goals and create an action plan. Use the insights gained from the failure to guide your next steps. Stay flexible and be willing to adjust your plan as needed.
Segment 4. Listener Questions and Stories.
We have some questions and stories from our listeners. Here's one from Sarah, who says she recently lost her job and is struggling to see it as an opportunity.
Sarah, losing a job is tough, but it can also be a chance to explore new career paths or develop new skills. What do you think, Sophia?
It might be a good time to reassess your interests and passions, and perhaps even start something new that you love. Look at this period as an opportunity to pivot and find something that truly aligns with your strengths and passions.
Another listener, James, shared that he failed an important exam and is feeling discouraged. What advice do you have for him, Sophia?
James, failing an exam can be disheartening, but it's not the end of the world. Use this experience to identify areas where you need to improve and create a study plan that addresses those gaps. Seek help from teachers or peers, and remember that perseverance is key. Many successful people have faced similar setbacks and used them as stepping stones to greater achievements.
Conclusion. To sum up, turning failures into opportunities requires a shift in mindset, a willingness to learn from mistakes, and the courage to try again. It's about seeing failure as a part of the process rather than an endpoint.
Right? We hope today's episode has inspired you to see failures in a new light. Remember, every failure is a chance to grow and improve.
Before we go, don't forget to share your stories with us, subscribe to the podcast, and leave your feedback. Your experiences could inspire others and help them see the potential in their failures.
Tune in next week for another exciting episode. Thanks for listening.
Otro. This is David and Sophia signing off. Stay motivated and keep turning those failures into opportunities.
Bye, everyone.